Overseas, you're the MVP. You come play in the NBA, sixth man at best.
And on that note, let's do this shit. Welcome to the longest running black pro wrestling podcast in the world. Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company pro wrestling podcast and radio show infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
You didn't hit the button again this week.
Nah.
Why? What are we doing?
We gotta reload shit. Like this, it's a whole. How many episodes have we used that button? We gotta redo shit. It's been 2 years since we've been side by side doing this shit. Like until we get this shit fixed, until we get this fucking COVID under control, like this is what it's gonna be. So say your shit, man.
That part I completely understand. It does not make the trigger obsolete.
Talk your shit, man. Talk your shit, dog.
In no way, shape, or form does it make the trigger obsolete, but it is made daily with fresh, farm, organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent.
Still
out here with the 2022 boosters and the rocket packs attached. We getting a major push straight through WrestleMania, and we gonna win the title, and we gonna reign for as many days as Bob Backlund did once upon a time.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
All of that. Terry Bollea, count your days. Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
I'm tired of starting the shows with tears, man. This is bullshit.
Hey, that's your fault.
Is it though?
We know this amongst each other, even though I've never said it to Pencil Pusher Nation. You put me on the spot with a live mic, you just gonna have to live with what happens.
Hey, I mean, the best memories come when you're not expecting them. Look at your pictures from your scrapbook. I can guarantee you the best memories came from the moments that you were not expecting.
I'm the guy that people from the outer circle would have to try to persuade not to say anything inflammatory during radio promo runs.
Yeah, remember that time you were at Six Flags and someone got you stuff in your face with a funnel cake? Yeah, of course. But that family picture with that poke, exactly. No one remembers that shit.
Hey, look. All I'm saying is, if you gonna put me on the spot, be ye thankful if I, just conduct business. If I go into business for myself, it's gonna be rough.
Dog said, be ye thankful. It is Thursday, March the 10th. Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said, year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
20 and 22.
Hey, man.
Hey, lady, too. Man, it's a lot going.
Hey to the ladies, we appreciate y'all.
Hey, it's a lot going down, bro. Oh, I need to send you this shit because I thought I did, but I didn't. A lot going down.
A lot going down.
We had. I did send it to you. You got the agenda.
Don't mean I'm gonna look at it. Since we ain't gonna use the trigger no more, fuck the agenda too.
I mean, we got some triggers we gonna use. In fact, the first one we gonna use is
some people gonna leave this bitch triggered if you leave it up to me.
This is a fact. Triggered. That's the episode.
Trigger man. Yeah,
man. Let's talk a few things here. Your NXT. Real quick. This ain't we gonna take too much time because we ain't see this shit because we're still on NXT, right?
Forever.
Your winner, NXT champion, Dolph Ziggler.
I mean,
did I say that right?
You did. Okay.
Bruh.
What I'm gonna say, what I'm about to say, is in no way a slight to Uncle Ziggy.
One of the hardest working, most consistent, most consistent performers in WWE, not just currently, but in history.
Dolph is Cash Money Records for the 99
and 2000.
I don't remember the last time I saw a bad Dolph Ziggler match. I don't think they exist anymore.
Even the Supercell for Goldberg was amazing in Saudi.
Right. That might be Goldberg's best match in what? 4 or 5 years? That's his best match since Survivor Series 17 or 16.
Oh, man.
When he came back for Lesnar and won in 90 seconds. So the moral of the story is shorter is better. And the WrestleMania 33 match was kind of good, too. It was 10 minutes. And it was a whole bunch of just, High Impact.
Yeah, it was some shit popping.
Either way, Dolph Ziggler is money, so what I'm going to say is in no way a slight to him. This has more to do with the maturation process and progress of one Braun Breaker. Why in the entire multicolored fuck would you hotshot this individual into being an NXT champion?
Just last week.
Put him on that trajectory.
Hold on. Just last week, bro. You had the Dirty Dogs take on Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa in a tag team match.
Break your Braun, ho.
A week ago. And then a week later, you throw Braun Breaker, Tommaso Ciampa, and Dolph Ziggler into a triple threat.
So not even like present booking, because again I'm on NXT, right? And I mean that shit, and I'm not watching. But for the times that I was still kind of paying attention, and then what you read, after the fact, like show recaps, not even dirt sheet shit. You debut Braun Breaker. You haven't beat LA Knight, who I haven't seen or heard much from since. You hotshot him
probably
to the title picture.
War Games.
Whenever Braun Breaker, whenever the change happened, I don't know shit about War Games because I didn't watch. I couldn't tell you.
New Year's Eve was when I think it was when Braun got the belt.
Even that. But what I'm saying is, you put him on the trajectory to title picture. Like you didn't say we're just gonna build him for a while and have him knocking people off like squash matches, whatever. You hot shotted him to fast track title picture. You beat him the first time with Tommaso Ciampa, which I assume is just like we're gonna swerve the audience because they think he's just gonna go full Goldberg. Then you turn around, take the title off. Well, you beat him the first time. He comes back in the next match and wins the title. Then you take the title off of him right before WrestleMania to presumably just give it back to him TakeOver weekend, which is also at like 11 o'clock in the morning in Dallas. Motherfuckers still gonna be asleep when this happens.
They're gonna be hung over from the night before, or so dead ass tired that if they showed up there, they're gonna fall asleep in the damn stands. And that's not even cap. There's shit going on in the wee hours of the morning, the entire weekend. Go ahead though.
Depending on when you land in DFW, or if you're already in DFW, when you start going to different events, chances are you're gonna be fucking sleep when the takeover happens.
All right. So we got 100,000 plus that's going to be in Jerry World 2 nights in a row.
Last shit I saw, we hadn't even broken triple digits as far as ticket sales, so be easy.
Okay. All right. We have the potential for triple digits, for 100,000 plus to be in Jerry World 2 nights in a row. We have the potential for
6 figures, but we're like low
50s. I mean like low 60s, high 50s maybe.
Mid-level 5 figures.
Okay.
Last report I saw.
All right. That said, I would dare say we're probably going to have at least 100,000 people come into DFW that weekend. Would
come into the city?
Yes.
More than that.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Perfect. There's only so many Uber drivers, so many Lyft drivers, so many of your homies, and not nearly the amount of rental cars you want. And gas, not to mention gas in one of the cheapest gasoline cities in the country, is well over $4 a gallon right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't going down between now and say 3.5 weeks from now. So,
yep, spring break finna be a whole. Nah, for real, but we're used to. I'll say this: we're used to the price hike around these holidays where you're gonna be out and people are gonna be taking road trips and things like that.
Price just went up.
Right. Maybe not to this degree, but this is a yearly thing. Like, it sucks that we're up into the 4s now, but this isn't new.
But we haven't seen this in this part of the country in 14 years.
Yeah, usually we're protected from shit like this. Not now. If nothing else, that's a reason for you to start getting acclimated and read up on who's who and what's what when it's time to go do what you're supposed to do as your civic duty.
Man.
See, words matter. I brought up politics and didn't bring up politics.
So, look at you, politicizing.
Preach night.
So, that said, I don't even know where we go with this. So, how Ziggler? Well, I mean, let me double back here because I think I know what I got my words together here now. I think I know what I want to say.
Okay.
Did you really put Ziggler into NXT to give him a belt to get Braun Breaker something to do at WrestleMania?
Yep. So what you're looking at it as, I guess you're saying the majority of, because this will obviously be on Peacock and it's going to be a complete.
so early morning on the cock, huh?
Yeah, Saturday morning wrestling on the cock. But yes, so there are some WWE centric people who will be watching only WWE content over the course of the weekend. So you're basically saying, what's the best match or what's the best situation we can put Braun Breaker in for a title win? And Dolph Ziggler, obviously, for obvious reasons, is the best choice. Veteran, able to call matches, make Braun Breaker look great. He's gonna sell like a used car sale. He's gonna sell like Westway Ford, Joe Greed. For those of you who are well versed in the DFW culture of bullshit and whatnot, you don't come see me, can't save you any money. 12, loop 12, all of that shit. That's how we sell it. So some of you'll get that. Rest of you gonna have to Google it. But Ziggler gonna do his thing. I'm like, why are we playing hot potato with the NXT title and putting unnecessary losses on Braun Breaker?
Man.
And furthermore, why is he playing the 1993 white meat babyface on Raw? Man, see that's okay. That's the indictment on creative I have.
So here's a I don't know if anybody has said this online. I don't know if this has even been a conversation. You know what I think this hot shotting has to do with, and especially stripping the title off of him to give it to Ziggler for a possible defense at Mania or Mania weekend. You know what I think this is around?
Let me hear something.
Let me turn the music down for this one. Actually, I'm just going to pause the music for this one because I don't. You ain't ready for what I'm about to say.
Oh no, I think I'm prepared for what you're about to say. I think we're on the same page.
Steiner brothers are going to the WWE Hall of Fame.
Which I've heard that. I've read that a couple places like that. Now
I have.
Okay.
That's the thing. I haven't seen anything related to the sort. Me putting this conversation together as far as Ziggler coming out of nowhere, winning the NXT title, which good for him. He's a 2-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and one title reign. He got stripped of. The other one he didn't even get to defend because he was concussed due to Alberto Del Rio. Mm-hmm. So he basically had two wins and no defenses. So if he gets a chance to get a decent run with this belt, then by all means, yes, good for him. However,
ain't no decent run. It's the 10th.
Bro.
He got less than 30 days. You are. I'm sorry, and I don't. Again, this is not a slight to Dolph Ziggler, but you are here in a transitional position.
Transitional
you are not temp to perm.
Champion.
Absolutely, that is your role.
Transitional champion.
And I'm like, okay, cool. If you thought you had the Steiner brothers in the bag as far as a Hall of Fame induction, meaning Rick and Scott. But Scott's the wild card here. He's the one you have to make amends with. So if you lock that up, why does Braun Breaker need 2 title reigns and 2 L's on his record to build him for a Hall of Fame induction? Why not just build him and crown him WrestleMania weekend? You'd have spent basically the last 90 days to 4 months, however long the Nickelodeon era has been going on. Build him, because he looked like the number 1 contender. He looked like the future champion.
He was money. He looked like money.
Facts. So you would have had him beat everybody who was leaving NXT. O'Reilly would have caught that work. Because when's the last time you seen Von Wagner?
Who? Exactly.
He was on SmackDown as a security guard, and now I don't know what he's doing because I don't watch NXT.
And he was hot shot into a main event role for a for a fatal 4-way for the title. Like, come on,
See what
man.
I mean? Then you Gargano got his ass. You'd have got his ass up out of there. You got to win off him before he left. Who else dipped? Bobby Fish, get his ass up out of there.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Take this L. Yeah, I named him. So we got them 3. If I could have got it, I'd have had him beat Cole, but he wasn't there yet. We were still in black and gold.
And Kyle O'Reilly was too busy trying to look like Orange Cassidy, but that's another conversation.
Right, but Kyle at least stayed around long enough for the beginning of the Nickelodeon transition. Just saying, like, fuck, like, why? Like, where's the logic?
Right here.
Broken pencil logic. Where's the logic in this? You're trying to build stars. You want the next generation of moneymakers. You're trying to catch lightning in a bottle again, which is why I don't understand why, you have Braun Breaker, for as big and imposing as he is, you have him cut the "I'm just happy to be here" promo. It's like, just the anti-hero has been the hero since '98.
Bruh, this is a fact. Since the
on the cool '96, but
I would say since the verbal communication of an attitude era, the anti-hero has been the hero. There's still bad guys, but the anti-hero. Go ahead.
I'll take it to 96 with Diesel when he put the black glove on. It was like, I'm not dapping up nobody who ain't wearing one. One, he just sold a whole bunch of merch, and 2, he was on some shit because he was on his way out. He was like a tweener. The anti-hero, and he was over for it because
man.
You saw Kevin Nash's real personality and realized how much of it he really had.
And the whole Big Daddy Cool gimmick was like, even if you listen to him in interviews, he is cool. Like, I'm too high to come down, cool.
Literally and figuratively. So I don't understand, like, why we're still trying to make I do understand. I actually do know the answer to this. I'm pontificating for those of you who'd like a new word for the day.
Do your Googles, fam.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just speaking it out loud, but we know why. Because the people in charge that make the final decisions are a little too set in their ways. I won't even call them old, even though there's a huge age discrepancy between the people greenlighting content and the people consuming it. And when there's that big of a disparaging gap, you're gonna have a lot of bad decisions be made. No 70-year-old person can make proper decisions for 2022 hip hop.
Man.
And it's not even as a slight. Like, Quincy Jones could produce a hip hop record and people will probably shit on it from a 2022 perspective. And it might be one of the greatest crafted pieces of music ever. And today's audience will not accept it because that's not what they're into.
There are great pieces of work. Like, I've had this argument for the last 15 years. Internet radio became a very huge thing in the mid 2000s. I've had this conversation time and time again. People talk about, where has hip hop gone? Like, hip hop is dead. Shit, like, no, it never went anywhere. If anything, it got a broader audience. And because of a broader audience, more people started doing it. So the stuff that people were gravitating to back then, they had more access to it than ever before. They just didn't know how to look for it. People with smartphones doing dumbass shit. Like, and even back then, smartphones were the thing, but everybody had a laptop. Everybody had a damn computer. Like, people didn't just pop up on Facebook all of a sudden. People been on that bitch. So if you had access to talk shit about where things have gone, have enough know-how and enough skill to go search for things that you want to go search for. If you don't like WWE, like Suave me and Suave are on NXT, right? But we also know that if we didn't have cable or over-the-top platforms, we could go online and watch old Ring of Honor. We can go watch New Japan. We can go watch MLW. We can find whatever the fuck we want to go watch simply by Googling it.
I can find the majority of old WCW. which I still haven't checked to see if the cock has completely updated all the old archives.
That's another thing. There are whole territories out here, old and new, that you are completely unfamiliar with. And if you know about them, you don't know the stories that happen within them, go back and binge watch some of that shit and shut the fuck up.
You could binge watch Mid-South and be in a completely different universe.
Bruh. Like, even,
but I also get it. Like, some people don't want to go that far back. I mean, you can go back to what created the Attitude Era, watch ECW.
Yep.
There's a bunch of that. Look, the Impact Network, we've spoken about that over the top platform.
Great.
The Impact app has everything you need.
The Impact Wrestling channel on fucking Pluto has everything you need for free. Like, fuck.
Like, you have places to go if you don't like what you see. I get it. So you can voice your displeasure same way we do, but at the same time, at some point it just becomes like torture. Yeah, it's self-torture, self-mutilation.
And from the bad we go on to the good. So for
hey, look at what I just mentioned.
Up until last night, for 364 days, Scorpio Sky was undefeated. As of last night, March 9th, Biggie Day. Biggie Death Day, wrong day. But
yeah. The greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th.
Your winner, TNT champion, by God, Scorpio Sky.
Scorp gang.
Man.
Finally.
Something.
So peep this, and I think this is something, it's been mentioned and it crossed my eyes, but I didn't think about it until this morning, so I want to see if you've had the same thought. You know who Scorpio Sky's cousin is, right?
I do, yes.
And you know who Scorpio Sky's cousin was slated to start a program with before this, air quotes, departure from AEW, right?
If I'm not mistaken, that would have been Paige Van Zandt, correct?
Correct. Who is also was a part of last night's angle that played out
with American Top Team.
Right, Dan Lambert. So my thought is, before the contract situation came up, you know when Scorpio Sky's last defeat was?
It was a year ago.
Yeah. A year ago. You know who it was to?
No. Cody
Rhodes.
Wow, in the TNT Championship match at St. Patrick's Day Massacre, right?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's under my belief that if Cody had not gone through this contract issue, that you would have seen Scorpio Sky's storyline arc.
So he would have defeated Cody.
Come together by beating the last person that beat him for the championship that he challenged for.
While tying back the family ties and putting getting Paige Van Zandt contract signed in the ring with Brandy. Yeah.
And then you get a mixed tag match with Scorpio and Paige Van Zandt versus Brandy and Cody. Like, you would have had a program that spawned from Scorpio Sky coming back and avenging the last loss he's had in a whole year. But that is awesome storytelling.
It could have been if executed, but even just the thought of it, because Scorpio Sky still penultimately became the TNT champion. I mean, I can't tout that enough. We've talked, waxed poetic, if you will, enough about Scorpio Sky over the last 2 years.
Facts.
And also, here's a fact. Don't know if you're aware of this or not. The only person of any color to hold a World Tag Team Championship with AEW and the TNT Championship. He quite possibly could be the first Triple Crown winner for AEW.
Facts. I mean, he's got everything necessary. He stepped his promo game up.
And no disrespect to Keith Lee, Scorpio Sky is the true limitless one of AEW. I mean, I've said it. There you go.
I mean, that's gimmick infringement, but hey, we can refer to him as Sky Daddy, and that has a whole different connotation to it.
Doesn't he live in Colorado?
I'm not sure.
Just saying. All right,
so, no, but on the cool, you do know. Well, for those of you who are not ingratiated in our culture, the term Sky Daddy is like a off-color reference for higher power of God.
Mm-hmm.
So calling Scorpio Sky the Sky Daddy, I mean, look, all I'm saying is for a nominal fee,
soon to be
a phenomenal fee, we will slice off some of this broken pencil logic and this knowledge and put it on your plate
for immediate consumption, and your tithes are greatly appreciated. That's
all I'm saying. I don't want to take anything away from what you're doing. I just want to add to it.
True indeed. And speaking of
adding to my account,
speaking of taking things away from and adding to, the only reason why I brought Scorpio Sky up this early because we were talking about title changes. But since we're on the topic of AEW, let's go through quite possibly the best AEW pay-per-view that we've ever seen. And in terms of a card, quite possibly the best pay-per-view card in the AEW that we've ever seen.
You think?
It's possible. We'd have to go back through all the cards and kind of put it together. Like, I mean, you know, I guess we could do that for...
you know what I'm saying? You know, we do mixtapes all the time. We show AEW some love and do a mixtape of their top 5 pay-per-views ever.
Yeah.
They've been around long enough for that.
We can do that probably in time for Double or Nothing. So when we do the you know who ain't gonna win for Double or Nothing, we probably would be able to give you a top 5 pay-per-views, in our opinion, broken pencil logic applied, for AEW pay-per-views since their inception.
Make a note of that because you know how we get.
Yes, I'm putting that in my notes right now so we can do that.
3, 2, 1, contact.
No contact. Hi. In the pre-show, legit Layla Hirsch defeated Chris Statlander, which was pretty expected. I don't even remember if we said she ain't gonna win, but
did you tell them about that Scorpio Sky new merch though?
I'm trying to cop me one before this shit sell out.
Man, fuck all that. We gotta rain these praises down on Scorpio Sky before they fuck around sabotage.
Black and proud, black and gold tee from Scorpio Sky available at AEWshop.com. And please believe I'm in the process of ordering one while I'm in between talking about pro wrestling matches and results.
You need a shirt to say Sky High. We really need to run with this Sky Daddy thing, even though I know, you know, Ricky Starks has the whole Stroke Daddy thing going on, which shout out to his fucking jersey.
Shouts out to Taz for pointing out what Stroke Daddy meant when he was in college.
What did it mean when he was in college?
You know.
Some shit that'll get you canceled if you say it.
If you say it, yes. But if you don't say it, it's open to interpretation.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You don't say it, you'll be fine. Don't even worry about it.
QT Marshall was in the ring and they sent out Hook.
Send Hook.
You know what happened? Hey, yo.
You don't even know me.
And then also in the last match of the pre-show, you had the House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and the debuting Buddy Matthews versus Pac, Eric Redbeard, who returned, and Penta Oscuro, which means Penta Dark.
But then you don't see Eric Redbeard on Dynamite this week. And I want Alex to stop walking around like a fucking druid with a mace. That's just too much cosplay.
Well, the reason why you don't see Eric Redbeard on Dynamite is because he got sprayed with the black mist. So now, not only did they target the eye during the match, but they sprayed the dark mist into that damaged eye, the injured eye during the match. So I mean I don't think we'll see him again for a while.
Superpowers now, or what the fuck?
I don't think we're going to see him for a while unless he happens to come up with as part of the House of Black. When I hope this doesn't happen, but something tells me he's going to pop back up in the House of Black when he returns, alongside a debuting Wyndham Rotunda. But that's I don't know. I really hope I'm wrong on that one, but that's what it feels like.
I'm in fact, look, I'm different than a lot of traditional wrestling fans in the fact that these darker gimmicks or these darker character sets, I don't have a problem with. Maybe it's because I grew up in the whole era of The Undertaker, and you know, the Ministry of Darkness was a thing, so this ain't really a big deal for me. It's the way you handle it. It's because your creative has to be more creative when you're dealing with things that are perceived to be supernatural. Special effects really ain't the way to get that over.
Nah, that's kooky as fuck.
Right, like if you go back and watch old Attitude Era Raw and you see the Undertaker and they're creating pyrotechnics that
CGI lightning bolts,
simulate lightning and shit. That's because it was 1998 and shit wasn't in HD yet.
I'm gonna tell you some wild shit. You remember at WrestleMania 25 when Triple H came out and he threw the hammer through the plate glass window?
Uh-huh.
You know what we saw in attendance?
What?
Him chunking a hammer through a doorway that was made out of pipes.
See?
That's it.
See? And that's for another reason. That's another reason, which I'm not discouraging anybody from going to a live event if they want to or attending WrestleMania. But WrestleMania is going to be a more enjoyable experience from watching at home.
Yes.
You're gonna get the full scope. It's just like with football. You can go to a game and watching the game is not the experience. It's the sitting in the stands and what goes on with the fans around you. That's the experience of watching football live in a stadium.
Same with Mania.
Right. If you're actually watching the game for the actual execution of football, it's a better experience watching at home. It just is.
Yep. And so on that note, House of Black is they're your winners by pinfall. But let's talk about Penta real quick. So
okay.
Penta Oscuro, he reminds me a lot of when he was Pentagon Jr. But what do you think about this arm breaker that he's doing?
I mean, anytime you can.
Is it a bit much? Is it is it right on task? Is it a way to kind of turn the corner on him? Like, what's your outlook on that?
One, I got to see it again to really dissect how much and what he's doing. I will say, when you add moves to your repertoire, that's always a good thing because, it makes the character more dynamic. You have to have really followed Pentagon to know the difference between what you've been presented on AEW TV for the last 2.5-3 years.
Which is Penta El Cero Miedo.
Yeah, that's the shit you own the IP on. And then what happened everywhere else. Yeah. Everyone may not know what happened everywhere else.
Pentagon Jr. is a B-side. No, Pentagon Jr. is an album cut. It's a classic album cut, but it's an album cut. Penta El Cero Miedo is the hit. It's the hit single.
It's the single. Right. It's the Billboard charting single.
Penta Dark is the B-side that never appeared on any album.
The mixtape. But yeah, it's different levels to that. So everybody might not be as well versed and know why this is a more dangerous Penta. So yeah, you do have to add stuff to your repertoire to differentiate between the two. But boy, are we a long way removed from Penta versus Kenny at All In.
Woof.
We are so far
leaps
removed.
And bounds away, sir.
Like Solo Penta is, I think Solo Penta is a good idea. But the Lucha Bros are so captivating to that audience as a team, you might not ever see that. So here's the other thing. What the fuck are we doing with Pac? Like that's championship worthy.
He is wandering aimlessly, and he along with Andrade El Idolo are well into heavyweight territory now. You can't convince me otherwise.
I don't want Andrade speaking English anymore.
I don't want him speaking anymore.
No, because I think he's obviously he speaks fluent Spanish. I would like him with an interpreter or a translator. And at this point, let's keep it real. You want him with Flair. Flair put them suits on, put that jewelry on. He can cut his promos. Andrade can speak one sentence in Spanish, and then fucking Flair goes off on a 90-second tangent explaining what that is.
I think we're a lot closer to that than you realize, especially since Tully Blanchard was fired from FTR last night.
Look, hurry up. I'm just glad FTR ain't retiring. That's what I'm glad about.
They retired on Twitter, but that's a whole other conversation. Listen, we could do a whole show. Speaking of FTR, we could do a whole show on Sons of Sandy Fork. them boys, the Briscoes. We could do a whole show, nothing but their promos for week after week. That could be a completely separate show, week after week. Is
peep this. I know Tony Khan's a owning. You know, he obviously owns Ring of Honor now. You think we get FTR versus the Briscoes for Supercard?
Is Supercard actually going to happen?
I mean, why wouldn't it? It's Ring of Honor's relaunch. So since AEW's not doing a show in the city for WrestleMania weekend, this essentially is going to be an AEW-esque production.
We don't even know if Jonathan Gresham is going to be there.
I don't see why he wouldn't.
Well, the same reason why Pencil Pusher Shane Taylor stated that he wouldn't be there. There's a lot to keep in mind. Anybody who was under contract through 2021 was released. Anybody that's under contract until 2022 had a 90 days. That 90 days is up on April 1st.
Well.
So we could see all new ROH. It could be a full blown relaunch. I don't know what to expect. And again, here probably next week or two, we're gonna give you the crawl. We'll give you the
Matt
Crawl for WrestleMania weekend here in the DFW Metroplex.
I mean, okay. So Jay Lethal's under contract, so you got an ROH original there. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't have Jonathan Gresham a part of it.
I don't either. Logically, I don't either.
There's no good reason. So we don't even know what this new Ring of Honor is going to be comprised of. Is it going to be a developmental, which I would hate? Is it just going to be a place for overflow?
Let's put a pin in that for now, because that's on the agenda. So we'll come back to that. Let's run through the rest of this AEW Revolution card here real quick.
Indeed.
Eddie Kingston defeats Chris Jericho by submission using a
pencil pusher Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingpin.
Put that respect on my man's names, fam.
The stretch plum for the win.
Black and yellow, Hey, can we get Wiz Khalifa to sync license black and yellow for Eddie Kingpin?
No.
Why?
For obvious reasons.
Everybody doesn't know that. Again, same as Penta. Everybody doesn't know what the black and yellow really means. They just know that's his ring gear.
I
feel you know what it is. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, hey, look, TK, holla at us. We can chop some shit up.
AEW World Tag Team Champions Jurassic Express defeat Red Dragon and the Young Bucks. Great match.
I'm over it.
I'm so sick of the young people. I'm sorry. I'm sick of the Young Bucks. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're not going to get any better. What you get is what you get.
Face of the Revolution ladder match: Christian Cage, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Ricky Starks put on a hell of a show. Keith Lee damn near died a few. Keith Lee damn near died a few times. In fact, he even grabbed a broken ladder and attempted to climb it. I don't know what he was thinking there, if he didn't see it, but the ladder was obviously broken from the TV side.
It's too many people over 250 pounds, and we said that going in. Somebody was probably standing a chance to get hurt.
And the winner of your 2022 Sonic Ring is Wardlow. Did I say something wrong?
The Sonic Ring Invitational ladder battle.
Oh,
that's
man,
fucking funny. So is Keith Lee Dr. Robotnik then?
Who had the mustache in there? He'd be the closest thing.
That's funny as fuck.
He's the only one.
Ricky Starks' tails.
Orange Cassidy's knuckles.
What the fuck?
Oh shit. For the TBS championship, Ty Conti loses to that bitch show. Jade Cargill.
Shout out to her outfit.
Jade Cargill came out dressed as Jade from Mortal Kombat. Nailed that shit.
Oh, nailed it. Motherfucking nailed it. Oh, yes.
I was like, Jade as... Well, Jade.
She fucking gets it. So, like, that's... Okay, her entrance and subsequent performance, well, in-ring performance notwithstanding, but the entrance That's what is acceptable in a cosplay situation. She gets it the way Rey Mysterio gets it.
Yes, indeed. No truer words have been spoken. CM Punk defeats MJF in a dog collar match. This was the damnedest dog collar match. Oh man,
Bruh.
Listen, this match was so good that by the time it was over with, I stopped watching the rest of the show so I could catch my breath and start finishing the show the next morning. Real shit.
That's crazy.
That was
the missus saw it and she was entertained and disgusted by it. Mostly because there was so much bleeding going on. Too much
blood, but I mean, it was understandable. It told the story, but man, some of the moves, man, just
them boys brought 83 back and then added in some 98 with them thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks. Oh man, like CM Punk landed ass first on a bed of thumbtacks,
and then MJF took a backwards Ric Flair bump into some fucking thumbtacks. It's like
after getting hit by the supposedly lost diamond ring from Wardlow.
He took that flatback after GTS.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
But yeah,
I mean, and then poor Bryce Remsburg, man, he had on gloves early in the match, but he slammed when he counted the 3. Every time he counted, he pushed the thumbtack further into the back of his hand.
Ain't no way in hell I count that shit from the opposite corner.
Man, I'd be clapping with my fingertips.
1, 2. I get a microphone and count that shit
out loud.
1, 2.
Oh man!
Out loud for the whole crowd to hear it. Like, yeah. I'm not high fiving no damn thumbtack.
This motherfucker took his gloves off and threw them shits, dog. He was pissed.
I'd have had lineman gloves on. Like, that's the only way you're gonna get me to high five thumbtacks. I put some lineman gloves on that padding.
But I'm also not gonna hit the damn mat that hard counting 3. Like, throwing there's thumbtacks around me. I'm that guy. I'm the one that's gonna get them in my fingertip. Like, no.
Hey, keep it trill. Keep it all the way trill. Can we not just... I understand people love authenticity in wrestling and all those good things. Do we really need metal thumbtacks at this point?
Where do we go from here?
Plastique.
I mean...
Get some plastic, spray them with some, high
no, now you trying to poison... You trying to get somebody poisoned? No.
They're not going to stick. That's my point.
That might hurt worse.
No, you get the fucking soft points, the soft tips.
I think you're overthinking it, fam. I mean, the way physics works is you land on something hard enough, it's gonna put a hole in something.
I mean, I get that, but like thumbtacks, my dude. I guarantee. Okay, the pay-per-view before that, when the Young Bucks and Cole had the knee sleeve with thumbtacks on it, there's no way in hell I'm gonna trust you to be careful enough to knee me in the head and face region with real thumbtacks. Fuck you. Fuck you and your spot. If you don't like it, we can fight now.
Oh man.
Safety first, cuz.
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Your AEW World's Women's Champion defeated Thunder Rosa, and
good.
And next week in San Antonio, we get a cage rematch with Thunder Rosa versus DMD, and that's in Thunder Rosa's hometown. If Thunder Rosa doesn't walk away with that belt, there's going to be a riot in San Antonio. Please believe it.
I mean, this is a perfect setup. I mean, it is what it is.
Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. And just a fucking fight.
Yeah.
Jon Moxley,
good old fashioned fight.
Jon Moxley wins. They get to post match brawling, and who comes out? The king of besmirching, William Regal, to make these boys shake hands and form a tag team that he's managing. Man,
Lord Steven, your lordship.
Oh man, that's gonna be if they actually do the faction and don't keep it at the tag team, it's gonna be ugly for a lot of people. I love how Regal put Bryan Danielson over as big as he did. Like he did a good job of putting over Moxley because he was there, but the promo he cut putting over Danielson
was legendary. Like he said, "You're everything I was supposed to be."
Yep. And we saw the clinics that Regal was putting on. Regal was stretching people who didn't need to be stretched on TV for believability.
Goldberg.
There's somebody who you need to watch a mixtape of. Just throw all his matches on like a playlist and just hit it random shuffle.
Regal's not a shooter; he's a sniper
with precision. And and target specific areas.
You remember when motherfuckers we saw people had that conversation that Goldberg would have smashed Lashley if they were, both active in their prime, like prime Lashley versus prime Goldberg. Mm-hmm. This is how I know you full of shit, because Regal got out there, and this is not a disparaging remark, but Steven Regal or Lord William Regal looks nothing like Bobby Lashley when he's in his ring gear
at all.
And Lord Steven got active on old Willie G.
Quickly too.
Quickly.
He wasn't even.
So this is how I know y'all full of shit. And that other comment about 15 years ago, he would have ran through Roman. Eat a whole bag of shut the fuck up.
Thank you.
I just had to get that off my chest. Go ahead.
Man. I mean, truth be told, I know he's retired, but you can put Regal in some tights right now. He'll have one hand behind his back and still just.
Famo. Let AEW do some shit like Slamboree used to be when it first started.
Like a Legends.
Like a legend shit, and give me Regal versus Danielson. In like a classic catch match.
Like you could do a 5-minute exhibition, or you can even do like a 15-minute match, like a 15-minute challenge, special challenge match, or some shit like that.
Call Timothy Thatcher right now.
Oh man, Darby.
Have William Regal bring him in. Like, I have another student of mine. I'm just saying. Look, we help him book like months and months of television.
Yeah, listen, no. How about we get heel Regal managing whoever the fuck? Because I guarantee you, heel Regal as a manager,
he didn't look too far off from heel Regal. He didn't do babyface shit.
The only babyface shit he did was thank Tony Schiavone, which was which was to me that
genuine.
Not only was it genuine, it was unnecessary. I like the personality. I like it being personal, but we did not have to see that on TV for either one of them to appreciate each other. We know what it meant, what it means to see them back on TV together.
But you know what kind of company you're in. Like, this company, the fans of this company love the veiled shoot. They love the worked shoot. So it's like, okay, Sting did the same thing. He did the exact same thing talking about Tony Schiavone from 29, 30 years ago. It's just a genuine moment. It'll live in infamy on tape, but it's not going to affect anything going forward, because the promo that he ended up cutting after he sung the praises of both of his new stable mates or managees, he went right into with the greatest closing line: you're either going to step up or get stepped on.
Mm-hmm.
So we ain't far off from heel, and it doesn't necessarily have to be heel or face. Just be straight laced. Like, we gonna kick your ass. Timothy Thatcher tomorrow. Text him today.
YFN, Darby, Sammy Guevara, and Sting take on the AHFO, which is Andrade El Idolo, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy, and of course
the foreign exchange.
Yeah. AHFO, or but yeah, the AFOH is gone.
A fucking house of oddities.
Fuck out of here, man. They gone. And then for your championship, Hangman Page defeated Adam Cole, which there was no other way for this to happen. Adam Cole doesn't need this damn belt, and he was going to do nothing for this belt between now and Double or Nothing. So,
hey, beat this. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, talk to me.
After the series with Bryan Danielson, after winning the match he had with Kenny Omega, winning the title,
okay,
was Adam Cole a letdown?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about a letdown. I think the issue was that same energy that he came with when he entered into AEW back in September. That who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby? that went away.
Angry Adam doesn't exist on a consistent basis, and it's hurting him.
And the fact that he actually showed up more consistently on Rampage, like, here's my thing: Rampage has its own identity.
Facts.
You know, it's an AEW product, but Rampage, by and large, since August, has its own identity. Why can't? Go ahead.
I think you should have let some of those signings, including Adam Cole, basically be the face of Rampage. Like, hey, you can't even see Adam Cole on Dynamite unless he's cutting a promo. You only get to see him wrestle on Rampage.
Bro,
you're killing shit.
If you're able to put 4 matches on in an hour, 2 of them can be women's matches, and you get more time per week on TV than you do on Rampage just by the show.
We had that conversation about women's matches. Until you get more depth, one is good. One's good enough.
And so I'm not saying that you need to have Jade Cargill-Berg on there every week defending the TBS championship, but if you did, so be it. However, you don't also want to have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, on there every week either with the AEW World's Women's Championship, because now you dilute that title.
Same conversation we had from last week. You got to know what after Thunder Rosa wins in San Antonio, you better have a fucking plan of what to do with DMD, or else we're gonna have issues.
And you need to keep her on. Like, DMD needs to stay on Friday. She is the women's face of Rampage. In fact, she is not just the women's face; she is the face of Rampage.
But on the cool, the reason I asked you that, the reason I ask you that is I've heard some people, in the comment section, because that's where logic goes to die. But I've seen on certain posts in the comment section where people are accusing Adam Page of being a lackluster champion. And I'm like, technically, he's had 3 of the best world title matches in AEW history. How is he lackluster as champion? Is it the opponents you're feeding him? Is it the stories? Or is it the fact that anything within 6 degrees of separation of the Young Bucks just lets the air out of the room?
It's probably a combination of all of the above.
Because Adam Cole is still linked to the Young Bucks, and Adam Cole's stock has significantly dropped since then, regardless of what anyone thinks or wants to admit.
I can't think of anything that wants to be force-fed. Any being.
For real, like, you could take your favorite food. You don't want it force-fed. You want to enjoy it at your own pace.
Things you need to see on Fridays.
Okay.
Jade Cargill or Dr. Britt Baker. Doesn't have to be both. And Jade does not have to be defending the belt every Friday night. So, one of those two. Hook.
Yeah.
Adam Cole.
Facts.
You can insert anything else there, but those 3, you for sure need to see a combination of, well, actually a combination of those 4, but 3 of those of the 4. You need to see that. Right. And then also, when Thunder Rosa gets the belt, keep her as far away from the professor as you can.
Stretch it out. But look, and I'm agreeing with you. On Rampage, okay, I would have Scorpio Sky defending the title twice a month.
Ooh, that's nasty.
One defense, Vignette celebrating the defense, Vignette deciding who the new challenger is, another defense. Wash, rinse, repeat.
And you stretch out a title reign.
Right. Same thing with Thunder Rosa, just alternated. So when Scorpio's defending, you're seeing a vignette about Thunder Rosa.
You're going old school Jim Crockett Promotions booking on Saturday nights.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, this shit ain't rocket science though. And this is how you eat up content, and because AEW loves long title reigns, this is how you stretch it. And you make Rampage appointment TV to see the star that you like. So if we're gonna be supporters and proponents of Scorpio Sky's success, and you make him the face of Rampage, we'll watch Rampage and you'll see the difference in the numbers from a certain demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Thunder Rosa. And you just, like I say, you alternate those title defenses. So you have premium content on Rampage. Then, of course, DMD, because she's always scheming on trying to get the title back. So there's that. Adam Cole, he's in a situation where, one, he can put on more developed storylines and matches. He can put that together on Rampage. Also, he's waiting in the wings, scheming on Scorpio Sky, because that's the eventual inevitable if you build it the right way on Rampage. You have enough of a talent roster where you can start assigning people to a show. Similar to what they did with, Nitro and Thunder, but on a higher level because the ship's not sinking.
Man, that ship's going all the way up.
You see what I'm saying? Like, shit. We bought another promotion. Obviously, we ain't hurting.
Man.
There's no Time Warner involved.
What's crazier about you saying that is the fact that now we have, because we talked about the amount of hours that AEW's monopolizing of wrestling time, not necessarily on TV, but as far as camera time. ROH last week was announced it was being bought by Tony Khan, and then it was also announced this week that Tony Khan is going to be the main booker for ROH. So what exactly does that mean for wrestling fans and for wrestlers? Does that mean that ROH is going to be a developmental brand for AEW, that's like a la Elevation, a la Dark, or is ROH going to be its own separate brand with random pop-ins here and there from other AEW talent? Like, I don't know. I really don't know how much talent you can afford to let go, and I'm sure a lot, simply because there's so many people on the AEW roster that you can afford to actually build a whole new roster of ROH strictly off the people that you don't see on TV on a weekly basis. But you also don't want to fill it full of students who are fresh out of the Nightmare Factory or the Nightmare Family or things of that nature, or like any type of like wrestling school. You don't want to bring them fresh out of school and load up a roster with these people. Not to say that they don't deserve it, but now you have to get all new TV clearance for a new product, unless you're going to leverage some of these hours that you have from Turner to put on. Am I off base in that, or do you want to put that back on YouTube again and then wait for them to lobby for homes, or do they get their contracts amended to where now that Tony Khan's the owner, they can still appear on those Sinclair networks?
This is why I asked last week about television placement, as far as what was Sinclair's role, what was going to be Sinclair's role going forward. Were they just going to completely wash their hands of Ring of Honor? Or were they going to be, was Tony Khan going to be in bed with them at some point, or at some level? Mm-hmm. But the fact that everything is going so well at the Turner home of networks, it is not beyond the realm of comprehension that a third show completely branded differently as Ring of Honor could occupy some space. Because, okay, run it down, the list of Turner networks.
TBS, right? TNT,
right?
What's the other one? Where
Turner Classic Movies, so TCM.
There's another one, True TV.
Okay.
If we want to go with partner networks in terms of with Warner, we can go CNN, which probably won't be for much longer. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the family. TBS, TNT, CNN, True TV. And then, of course, okay, like TCM, and then like if we go with Warner, HBO, then that opens up a whole other can of worms as far as with them.
All right, Pete, check this out, because we know Tony Khan is a wrestling historian to a certain degree. So he's very well versed in different aspects of like millennial experience as far as watching pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. So what if on TBS, Saturday 6:05, 5:05 Central
on the Superstation,
we go back old school WCW Saturday night style, and that's how you get Ring of Honor.
Here's why we can't do that.
Why?
What was one major issue with running at 5:05 Central, 6:05 Eastern Time on Saturday nights on the mothership?
Braves baseball.
Braves fucking baseball. Still a factor. On top of that, now TBS isn't just a station from Atlanta that's broadcast across the country. It is now a syndication hub. So to even get Braves baseball still on that station now costs an arm, a leg, and a couple of toes because of the advertising dollars that are exuded from people actually buying advertising during those time slots.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cost effective to put ROH at that time and then have them succumb to the same ills that WCW succumbed to back 30 years ago.
I get you. I get how that makes sense. I just, revisionist history and kind of wanting to see some cool shit come back. But for that reason, maybe not that time slot, but certainly that network.
Yeah, you're on the money. I think it's a great idea. Here's the issue though. When the NWA reformed and did Power, the whole reason why they did the 605 on Tuesday thing was because of the nostalgia of 605 and the wrestling power that, pun intended, that 605 had. But you're not going to do that again unless it's another night during the week. And again, if it's not Saturday, you can't do Sunday for the same reason you can't do Saturday, because I remember numerous Sundays that wrestling was preempted due to baseball going over, or
I used to hate that.
Bruh, buzzkill.
Okay, so alternate plan. What happens if Kanos, because we know Kanos will get active and get petty. What if Kanos decides I'm gonna snuff NXT out?
Ooh.
And I'm gonna put Ring of Honor
on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern.
Ain't shit else going on.
Well, I mean, Kanos obviously ain't nearly as petty as Vince, but at the same time,
shit.
Well, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Because Kanos did played a diplomat to put Rampage on at 10 p.m. on Friday nights Eastern time. He was diplomatic in that approach.
He knew not to split the market share. If I split the market share with a 1 hour show, I'm gonna lose. But if I catch people who are already watching wrestling, if you're watching wrestling on Friday night at 7 o'clock, chances are you ain't doing shit else after that, other than either watching more wrestling or enjoying the fruits of your labor.
Now, in the network era, the WWE network era, give me one show. And mind you, the network era goes back to 2014, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yep, 2014, WrestleMania 30.
Actually, no, Elimination Chamber. There was that week. Elimination Chamber was the first pay-per-view on the network.
Double check that. I'm not saying I disagree, but I'm not saying I agree either.
Either way, 2014, we know Road to WrestleMania season, post Royal Rumble, sometime in that time frame, 2014, right?
Yeah.
Give me one show that you went out of your way to watch on fucking YouTube.
I'm not of that ilk where I go out of my way to watch any show on YouTube. But I get what you're saying.
February 24th, 2014. So I was correct. As the Elimination Chamber was, let's see here.
2014 Elimination Chamber. I don't even remember that fucking pay-per-view. That's horrible. I don't remember it.
If I tell you the card, you will. Oh, it was the day after. Okay, so all right, so that's what was the. So actually, no. So
first pay-per-view is WrestleMania, right?
Right, and so but the Elimination Chamber was available on the network the next day, is what it was.
To watch.
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't you didn't get it live. Really? You didn't get it live stream?
I mean, I think you decided to get the pay-per-view, but.
Man, bruh, we are in a new time.
It was the final pay-per-view to air before the launch of his online streaming service, the WWE Network, to launch the next day.
The end of the BitTorrent era.
Randy Orton was the heavyweight champion. Defeated John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Christian, Cesaro, and Sheamus.
Oh yeah, I don't remember shit about that.
I just was tired. I was just tired of it being the third year of Orton versus Cena.
And I know I saw it. But yeah, because you're saying Randy Orton is heavyweight champion and Cena's involved. You know how many times this fucking happened?
go back. Go
more
back to
times
2002.
than Lesnar and Reigns.
Man.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Different feuds against different eras, man. It was just wild.
Very, very, very different.
But
yeah, I'm not going to YouTube to watch it. I'm not making YouTube appointment television. Like,
Right.
I even tried to go back and watch episodes of Dark on YouTube. It just, for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't hold my attention like streaming platforms do, and that's something with me. It's not anything against YouTube as a platform or any of that stuff, because they house us.
I'm gonna tell you what I went out of my way to watch and why I stopped.
Okay.
NWA Power. I went out of my way to watch that shit because of the 605 shit. It was the perfect time, because if I was either off that day or on my way home, I could watch wrestling.
I do remember doing that though.
And
you're right.
And then
for a while we did watch Power.
And then you know why we stopped?
Why is that?
Because the whole Cornette shit, and then quarantine happened. That's probably the only reason why we stopped.
That, and I think we even tried like soon after the pandemic. Then the shit with Fight came up.
Yep.
Where they wanted you to pay.
They wanted you to pay for it. Yep.
Pay per episode for the same show you were getting for free on YouTube. That is absolutely what you cannot do.
Bite the hand that feeds you, literally.
Literally. Now, if you want to find a new platform that'll pay you more in residuals and whatever, and ad placements, fine. But taking something that was free and then asking for money for it only works when the testers are out.
Them caps, cuz.
and it gotta be some straight jump back.
Man.
If you know, you know. If you don't,
real quick, we were talking about this too a few weeks ago, and I guess I think I was off by a day. I had to be off by a day. But last night on AEW Dynamite, we saw the return or the debut of Jeff Hardy as the AHFO, or the AFOH, as I said earlier, disbanded. Was helped out by YFN, Darby, and Sting, and Jeff Hardy comes out. Here's what's crazy though, and I had it down to, like, I literally was off by a damn day. But I said a few episodes back that he could possibly show up on Dynamite on March the 9th.
Hit the bell for yourself.
You know what I'm saying? I do this shit for real at a high level, people. You better fuck with your boy. That said, what the fuck is up with the licensing for that music? Now, I've heard that music numerous places, not just for the Hardys, but it's synonymous with the Hardys.
I believe Hardy plays guitar on that song or sings. That's something he owns.
Okay, so it's part of he's getting
he's the one doing the licensing.
He's getting mechanicals for that, so he's doing the licensing for that song.
Facts, because I was like, wait a minute, did they just replay his shit? Which that happens
on True TV all the time on World's Dumbest. That song plays a lot.
So yeah, that's a sync licensing thing. Shout out to Rusty Jux who put us up on that.
Man,
who had music for Jake Atlas,
and somebody else now too. So he's still out here.
Facts. So hit the cash register one time.
You know what I'm saying?
My issue, fuck the music. My issue with this whole thing is, bro. Okay, say we out. Me and you out somewhere.
We outside, ho?
Yeah, we outside WrestleMania weekend. Say by some, happenstance, I get into a fight with 10 people, and I'm working, but it's 10-on-1. I'm getting my ass kicked.
Okay.
And you see it coming back from the concession stand, and you get ready to make your beeline to dive into the crowd and to at least get me out of the circle of 10 people. Are you gonna stop to hit your trademark dance move before you get active,
bruh? Hold on.
Motherfucker, that shit drove me.
I'm not stopping to throw up no set. I ain't stopping to tie up no damn shoes. I might stop to take off a shoe.
I'm finna Kevin Owens front flip cannonball into this crowd.
If you ever seen Redman stage dive, where he will run and then jump and throw his ass up to make it look like he's getting some height, and then spread out but on back first, that's gonna be me.
You feel me? Like, bitch, I ain't did a forward tumble in I don't know how long, but today,
if fuck around and find out was a fat dude, that's me right there.
Say, do you understand what the fuck I'm saying?
Oh,
there will be no shortage of pain, blues, and agony dealt out if I get a running head start.
Whole lot of fucking gang shit.
I'm not finna stop and hit my move, hit the signature taunt, because 2K just came out.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna hit my signature taunt and then try to get in the fight.
Fam out here emoting and shit. Music hit. He stopped to emote with a crowd that he don't even know.
He is pissed. He pissed me off with that. You self-centered motherfucker, you son of a bitch.
Meanwhile, Big Brother has a goddamn chair in his throat.
Getting kicked he is on the ground actively getting his ass kicked.
Dog,
like literally, he's being kicked in the ass.
So what was crazy was, outside of emoting on the fucking ramp, that was the number 2 thing I saw that pissed me off. The number 1 thing that pissed me off was the fact that even when the numbers game was against Hardy, Sting, and Darby, you had somebody like, no one broke away from the numbers to hit Andrade to get that damn chair off of Hardy's throat. Bro, like, how long do you have to have a chair guillotine to your damn throat before somebody says, yo, enough is enough?
Bro, it's a lot. It's a lot about that didn't really get executed all that well.
And here's what's crazy. Who outnumbered Sting and Darby?
Both members of Private Party.
Dog! Both members of Private Party? Dog, they collectively weigh as much as Darby, and I'm capping.
Yeah. you get which one's the Blade? Which one's the Butcher? Oh no, the Butcher who's had a body transformation, and the Blade.
Butcher outside
they
for real.
And then in the segment, they didn't even vote.
They were just there. They just there.
No thumbs up, no thumbs down. They ain't voted about shit. And I'm like, Johnny speaking broken English.
Because truth be told, I thought the Blade was actually Jeff Hardy. He took the damn hoodie off.
That would have been hey, on the cool. That would have been cold as shit.
That'd been way better than what happened last night.
If the Butcher and the Blade would have come out, but Butcher was kind of covered up where you couldn't tell, and Blade ends up being fucking Jeff Hardy,
bruh.
Now
that's great TV right there, brother.
That's that shit. Tony, for a nominal fee.
Oh man, soon to be
a phenomenal fee, we will slice off some of this broken pencil knowledge and put it on your plate.
Please believe, bruh. Please believe when I tell you.
Price just went up.
Hey, all I'm saying is, look, I don't want to take away from what you're doing. I just want to add to it.
Hey,
that's it. That's all.
The Stanford Supermax Creative has already passed up on the offers. Hey, I'm just letting you know, you got your hands full right now. We can kind of help you with some things.
Stanford can sink or swim on their own, because after everything we've heard about how that shit goes on up there, I'm not relocating for that kind of money and that sort of punishment.
And I'm gonna tell you one damn thing: people gonna be singing and drowning waters after the text I just saw from you. These motherfuckers still doing BOGOs a month out.
Yeah, you feel me? Like Groupon?
Yeesh. Oh yeah, man,
that's why we should wait, because it's gonna get greater later.
Well, we still ain't going there. We gonna be outside, but we ain't go.
Getting in and getting out of that place is just not the move.
You and I finally go down there?
No,
Chico.
And I ain't even tell you about the word I got back about actually purchasing a suite versus the other lick we had lined up.
Oh, no, I don't even want to hear it at this point. I really don't. Oh,
there's no way we'd have made it back.
Yo,
how about that?
Wow. Let me run through this Impact No Surrender card here real quick that just happened. A stacked card. Giselle Shaw versus Aisha Edwards. Giselle Shaw wins. Trey Miguel defeated John Skyler. How is Trey Miguel on the pre-show? Havoc defeated Tennille Dashwood. Jake Something defeated Ace Austin. Jonah defeated Black Taurus, which Jonah's on a damn tear, man. We really gotta, like, that's the thing. There's certain things, like, if Impact could do mixtapes every week, that'd be better than just sitting here and have to watch through shows, especially if it gets to pay-per-views. But that's another conversation too. Switchblade Jay White defeats Eric Young. How that happened, I have no idea. Not the fact that he defeated him, but the fact that we got Eric Young versus Jay White.
We didn't even heard a peep out of Jay White on AEW TV. Like, what was that? Just like a special appearance for 2 episodes, or what?
I got a feeling that there's going to be a lot more to that to come. Deonna Purrazzo, who was the ROH World Women's Champion, defeated Miranda Alizé. Matt Cardona, who is your Impact Digital Media Champion and also the owner of your 10 pounds of gold, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, defeated Jordan Grace in the intergender match for the Impact Digital Media Championship. The Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, defeated the Guerrillas of Destiny for the Impact World Tag Team Championship, further imploding the Bullet Club Civil War.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't closer to the main event. Mickie James, the Impact Women's Champion, or Impact Knockouts Champion, defeated Tasha Steelz. Which Tasha Steelz, man, oh man, she's somebody's gonna pick her up and do great things with her. Hopefully, she'll get a run in Impact here soon.
Shout out to Tasha Steelz. She actually gonna be here for the GCW for the Culture Show.
Oh, don't worry, that's coming up next. That's the whole reason why I brought this card up first, because I'm gonna break down that card for you next too. Moose defeated W. Morrissey for the singles match that was promised to W. Morrissey for the Impact World Championship. So that's the storyline culminating there. And then for the 10-man tag championship, if Honor No More won this championship, that championship, it's 10-man tag match. If Honor No More wins, then they stay in Impact. Naturally, they're going to stay in Impact. So Honor No More, who was ROH refugees, which consists of Matt Taven, the Miracle Mike Bennett, PCO, Vincent, and Kenny King, versus Team Impact, which is Chris Sabin, Rhino, Rich Swann, Steve Macklin, and Willie Mack. And so Honor No More remains in Impact. Now, that said, I keep talking about Tasha. Well, I talked about Tasha Steelz, but the reason I even brought that up is because people need to suckers need to know about Impact. But I sent you. I told you I was going to talk about something, but I didn't send it to you. I got the card so far updated for the culture, and for the Impact Knockouts Championship, it says Tasha Steelz versus Big Swole. How is this the case if Mickie James retained the championship?
What do you want me to say?
I mean, I'm not even expecting an answer. I'm not even expecting an answer, bro. Like I'm looking at this.
You tell me what you expect to come out of my mouth.
That's the first thing I see
is
Tasha Steelz carrying the Impact Women's Championship after I just said that she needs something better, like some shine. And here she is with the Impact Women's World Championship belt over her shoulder to take on Big Swole, and she did not even win the belt at. I'm sorry.
What you want me to do? What you want me to say?
On the brighter side of things.
All right, let's do that.
The baddest man in the world, or the baddest ever, Shane Taylor versus the Hitmakers. Who are the Hitmakers? B-Fab, AJ Francis, Shane Swerve Strickland. That's happening. We already talked about that before. AJ Gray versus Darius Lockhart, and Brian Keith, Cowboy Brian Keith versus one of your all-time favorites, Suave, Too Cold Scorpio.
Yeah.
I knew
you bitches.
I knew I was gonna pop you with that one.
I saw it, but I'm still gonna celebrate my homie.
I didn't know you saw that one, but yeah.
he is on the hit list of interviews we gotta knock down.
Oh man, I want him completely active.
Man, Too Cold Scorpio, Jade Cargillberg. We finally got to get Ice Train, and then we got some more people that we want to get. But yeah,
the short list. Scorpio, Too Cold Scorpio, that is on the short list.
Scorpio Sky, he can be on the list too.
Yeah, he deserves to be on the list, especially now, especially with that shirt. Like he always.
We need to start game planning for next year's Black History Month.
Possibly. Ooh, because we have to every year we outdo the previous year. We gotta get ready to get active for next year. We line that shit up. A couple of things before we get up out of here. You told me about MLW acting a fool with Control Your Narrative.
So apparently the story in short form, paraphrasing without having to look up the actual article, goes like as such. MLW front office, and MLW obviously is owned and operated by Court Bauer, former WWE writer, who his most classic contribution to this show is in episode
9. Episode 9.
That was 8.
Episode 9, sir. The Randy Orton story.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Randy Orton was the cover for that. I swear it's 8. Let's bet something on it.
Bet lunch.
I bet lunch.
It's IMOC. I mean, cool shit to do is eat. Let's, fuck around and find out.
So
I'm broken pencil. Booking company. Episode 9.
Not because I designed all the covers. 9 is Doink. I just check your iMessage. I just sent it to you.
You just a bitch. I've been out with your ass.
Yeah, so figure. You know what I'm saying?
You motherfucker, you.
I designed it. Come on, cuh. Go ahead and bless my games. What you do? Bless my lunch. Where am I having lunch? I'll let you pick.
I mean,
I'll let you pick.
Just make it fly. That's all I'm saying. Make it fly, and I'm gonna make sure. Right. I'm gonna make sure it's double digits.
And I'm sending you pictures.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that too.
Yeah, you can even send me. You can message me a list of recommendations. I'll tell you where I'm about to go after this.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how genuine I am. This is gonna hit your phone in 3, 2.
Oh shit! Hold on. We processing.
You know what I'm saying? You heard that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's there, and I made sure it's a double-digit number.
Hey, hold on 1 second.
I'm gonna stop having to pay this motherfucker on this damn show. I need to stop doing this show so I can stop paying this motherfucker on this show.
I was looking for a call that wasn't it. Let's see. Not yet. It ain't hit me yet. Oh, yeah, it did. You asshole. Look, my official DJ is official.
But I'm an asshole.
Yeah, I mean that too. You can be several things at the same time.
But hey,
you ever heard of the multiverse?
Yes, I have.
All right then. You can be all things.
Oh man.
That's funny as fuck though.
The irony is I'm looking at this write up here. You kick off the men of a certain age cipher.
Oh damn, we didn't even finish the story. I was too busy winning money.
No, I'm sitting here before I do that. I'm sitting here reading this shit, going back like as a moment in time. This is for episode 9. This also had to be an IMOC.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, it wasn't. It couldn't have been. It was too late in the game for IMOC. No, this was later in the year. I just thought about that. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, Court Bauer essentially just told the venue, man, fuck that. We don't want no other wrestling running the same weekend we running.
Ain't no purple tops on the block where there's pink.
You feel me? Like, hey, look, you got dust and we got motherfucking soft. You can't be over here. You stepping on clientele and then you bring in the wrong element.
The hard across the street. Go on over there.
That's the trap. That's the trap equivalent of bringing the property value down. So I mean, this shit, and I look. This is Court Bauer implementing some WWE style shit, just trying to blackball somebody from getting a certain venue. He
learned from the best and learned from the worst. That's number one. Number two. I quote the late great Craig Mack. If you really don't think someone's outside, you're gonna think you won't be around next year, boy. Ha.
So right, so we're like, fuck it, we're not gonna allow them to occupy our same space. And this shit goes back as far as to the territory eras where promoters would make deals with venues and say we're going to run here once a month, but in order for us to do that on an ongoing basis, you can't have wrestling 6 weeks before or 6 weeks after us. So we're just gonna, at that point, the language of the contract makes it impossible for another wrestling company to run that venue, and the venue's just choosing the contract as long as the contract is honored over the one-time money. So This story never should have became public. This is some shit that whoever's in the front office of MLW should have worked into the language of the agreement with the venue. And if you had to spend a couple of extra dollars to make that solidified, then do it. And this would never have been a conversation. Because there's more than enough venues in the DFW area and surrounding suburbs and outskirts that house professional wrestling, or venues that would actually be able to comfortably house a show.
Outside of Black Monday or Black Saturday, you never saw WWF run events in the Omni in Atlanta. You never saw anything Jim Crockett Promotions NWA related run in Madison Square Garden. The LA Sports Coliseum, the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Well, on occasion, you might see some overlap with the Spectrum, but like you said, within 6 weeks, not so much. The Norfolk Scope. Come on, man. There are certain venues that were synonymous with certain activity. You were not stepping on those toes back then.
I guarantee during the heyday of ECW, if Paul Heyman had Bubba Ray Dudley or Tommy Dreamer call and book the Hammerstein Ballroom, nobody was doing anything 6 weeks before or 6 weeks after, because you're stepping on the territory. You're going to make people choose which venue they go to based on, whatever. I'll
do you one better. Even Monday Night Raw was in the Manhattan Center. That was almost 10 years before ECW was using Hammerstein.
You see what I'm saying?
Fuck out of here.
There's no way you're going to make people choose, because when you start seeing, okay, people are going to be making split decisions when they come here for the weekend, because there's just too many events. You're just going to get out. There's some stuff you want to go see, but as far as eating up Thursday through Monday, some of that stuff is just going to be randomly decided upon. So obviously, depending on the area and you're the venue out there, you want people to choose your event. Well, if there's another event tomorrow, they're more likely to be able to say, well, we can pass on going here and we'll go to this one over here.
Man, the games people play. And speaking of games, the last bit of business for the day. Everybody is seeming to enjoy polarizing views of the WWE 2K22 game that just released courtesy of 2K Sports.
Facts.
Suave and I have penultimately decided to wait.
Yeah, we made that game time decision in pre-roll.
Yeah, there's reasons why we're waiting. Reasons you will hear later. You won't hear them today.
Diagram.
Yeah, you gonna hear it, just not today, but you gonna hear these reasons.
Bet.
But
feedback's been good so far, though.
There's a story that came out that EA Sports is in negotiations with WWE for future games for WWE if the 2K venture doesn't pan out. Since it's been 2 years since the last 2K game?
Yep. This is make or break for 2K.
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports is synonymous with Madden.
The Madden franchise.
And that's it right now. In years past, it was been NBA Live.
Right.
They tried this NBA Showtime shit. That fizzled out like fucking water, like soda without the top on it.
Did EA Sports do Street?
Yep, Streets. I'm sorry. Yeah.
UFC's game line.
The PGA. FIFA.
Major League Baseball.
Yep, and FIFA is the largest selling sports game internationally. So it's safe to say that's the number one franchise in sports gaming is FIFA.
International.
Man. But here's my problem. In order to play games, wait a minute. Talk to him, Trips.
Here's the thing.
In order to play games online with EA Sports, you have to have a membership for your particular console. So like with PlayStation, you need PlayStation Plus. For Xbox, you need Xbox Live, right?
Right.
EA also wants you to pay them $5 a month to access their online gaming servers.
No, thank you.
I'm out. I'm completely the fuck out.
It's part of the reason I decline a lot of online gameplay. Like, I'm going to play from as far as the EA Sports franchise. I've tried UFC a couple times. I I liked it, but I also felt like the control, it's not user friendly as far as the different controls trying to fight in an octagon. That's something like you really got to concentrate on to learn. Almost akin to how you have to learn the art of fatalities on Mortal Kombat.
Ooh.
It's a lot of pause, look up the actual combo you're looking for, then try to do it before somebody passes out. But with Madden, I sit up and literally play exhibitions just so I can manipulate football because I like the sport, the actual sport of football. I don't really do seasons, which I probably should. Team building and all that. That's when you're going to play the game long term. I usually don't have that kind of time. I'll get a game in and I'm playing exhibitions because I'm trying to exercise a concept. Or I want to run a playbook just to see how well this team performs under these circumstances. I'm not paying for that shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, all that said to say this shit. Yeah, fuck you and fuck that. I'm solid.
I'm good. Too many people get pissed when they start getting beat and they quit. So it's like I'm not getting anything from this.
Man. And on that note, man, hit us up with your, hate mail, love mail, mail, snail mail.
Hit them with the socials.
At Broken Missile BC on all things social. That's at Broken Missile BC on what?
Everything.
With the shit. Broken Pencil Logic. You can't write this. Mark my words. And my personal favorite.
Price just went up. Price just went up.
Courtesy of our fourth man, Ron Murray. You know what I'm
saying?
Indeed. Shit. There it is, man. Suave. Nothing better to do, man. Go enjoy your lunch, and while you do, take it to the house.
Pencil pushers. Heads up. Pencils down.
Man, I don't know if you realize this. This is still the worst podcast we've ever done in our life.
By far.
Trash.
Garbage.